Have you noticed that earning more money today doesn't feel like it makes life any easier? In fact, for many people, it feels like the opposite. Salaries are higher than they were a decade ago, apps are faster, payments are easier, everything is more convenient, and yet financial freedom feels further away than ever. Not impossible, just strangely out of reach. Let's talk about why. Imagine a fairly normal situation in the US or Europe. You're in your mid to late 20s or early 30s. You've done what you were supposed to do. You studied, found a job, and you're earning, let's say, $4,500 a month before tax. After taxes, insurance, and social contributions, that becomes around $3,200. Not bad. On paper, you're doing fine. Now, life starts subtracting. Rent or mortgage, $1,200. Utilities, internet, phone, $250. Car payment or transport, $400. Groceries and basic living, $500. We haven't done anything extravagant yet. You're now left with roughly $850. Then come the quieter expenses. Student loan repayment, $250, credit card minimums, $150, subscriptions you barely notice, $80. Occasional eating out, small purchases, convenience spending, $200. Suddenly, that $850 becomes $170. No crisis, no luxury lifestyle, just not much room to breathe. And this is where many people feel confused. I earn okay money, I'm responsible. Why does financial freedom still feel so hard? The answer isn't laziness, and it's not a lack of intelligence. It's the structure of a convenience-driven economy. The hidden mistake isn't spending money. It's committing future income to past decisions. Most modern expenses don't feel expensive because they're broken into monthly payments. A $30,000 car doesn't feel like $30,000. It feels like $420 a month. A $1,200 phone doesn't feel like $1,200. It feels like $45 a month. A lifestyle doesn't feel expensive when it arrives quietly. One subscription, one upgrade, one why not at a time. But math doesn't care how convenient something feels. Let's do a simple calculation. If $800 a month is locked into car payments, loans, and consumer debt, that's $9,600 a year. Over 10 years, that's $96,000. Not counting interest, not counting opportunity cost, just cash that can no longer work for you. Financial freedom doesn't usually disappear because of one bad decision. It disappears because too much future income is already spoken for. So why do smart, rational people keep doing this? Psychology. Convenience removes friction, and friction is what used to slow spending down. When payments are automatic, delayed, or invisible, your brain treats them as smaller than they really are. There's also social normalization. In the US and Europe, debt-backed lifestyles are presented as normal adulthood. A car payment isn't a luxury, it's expected. Carrying a balance isn't irresponsible, it's common. Upgrading your lifestyle with every raise feels natural. The problem is that income growth and obligation growth happen at the same time. You don't feel richer, you just feel more committed. If this pattern continues unchecked, the long-term impact is quiet but powerful. Savings stay thin. Investing feels risky because there's no margin for error. Career decisions become defensive instead of strategic. You can't easily walk away from a bad job. You can't take time to upskill without stress. You can't slow down, even temporarily. Not because you're failing, but because your monthly baseline is too high. That's the real cost of convenience. Now, here's the shift in perspective. Financially intelligent people don't obsess over money hacks. They don't live in extreme deprivation either. They think in terms of flexibility, not status. They ask questions like, how much of my future income is already committed? What expenses reduce my options? What purchases quietly raise my minimum required income? They understand that financial freedom isn't about earning the most, it's about needing the least to feel secure. Convenience isn't evil. Debt isn't always bad, but every monthly obligation is a small vote against freedom. And the more of those votes you cast without thinking, the harder freedom feels, even in a wealthy economy. So if financial freedom feels harder today, it's not because you're broken. It's because modern systems are designed to make spending easy, commitments invisible, and long-term costs abstract. Awareness doesn't fix everything, but it changes how you see your decisions, and that's where real leverage starts. If this perspective helped you think more clearly, you can like the video or subscribe for more calm, realistic conversations about money. Nothing dramatic, just clarity.